Have you ever logged into a raid and saw these symbols popping up beside your character? Have no idea what they're for, or what they do, or what they mean? Well, keep watching this video. We're going to go over every single status effect that can affect your character in Escape from Tarkov, and what you can do to treat that effect. A light bleed is probably going to be your most common status effect that you receive, and it can be caused from anything from getting struck by a bullet, melee attacks, grenade shrapnel, and even getting caught up on barbed wire. But what that's going to do is a 0.8 HP loss in each non-destroyed body part every 6 seconds until treated, and it can lead to death when the total HP pool reaches 0. To treat a light bleed, you can use bandages, Salawas, first aid kits, IFAKs, AFAKs, and the Grizzly medical kit. Heavy bleeds are probably the next most common thing you're going to face, and you can only get a heavy bleed by getting struck by a bullet. But what that will do is a 0.9 HP loss in each non-destroyed body part every 4 seconds until treated. This also leaves a trail of blood and splatters along the map. It decreases your energy, and it becomes a fresh wound when treated. It leads to death when the total HP pool reaches 0. You can fix a heavy bleed with hemostats and tourniquets, as well as Salawa kits, IFAKs, AFAKs, and a Grizzly medical kit. Once you heal a heavy bleed, it turns into a fresh wound. And what happens is for the next 240 seconds, you have to be very careful, because it will revert back to a heavy bleed if that body part takes any damages, and it can also cause a light bleed if you're sprinting or jumping. Fractures occur in the game from falling from great heights, getting struck by a bullet, melee attacks, and even failing the gym minigame in your hideout. And fractures are gonna be body part specific, meaning if you take fracture in the leg, your player is gonna move slower and have a limp. Whereas if an arm is fractured, your player is gonna search slower, have a harder time reloading and aiming. You have to treat a fracture before that status effect will leave. And the only way you can treat a fracture right now is a Surf 12 surgical kit, splints, or the Grizzly medical kit. Pain is the status effect that causes your vision to darken. And this is actually caused by other statuses, such as fractures. And the only way to remove a pain status effect is by eliminating the cause of the pain. So if it's a fracture, you'd have to treat the fracture in order to eliminate the pain. You can treat the side effects of pain momentarily using balms, injectables, and stimulants, as well as pain meds, but that only lasts for a limited amount of time and will return as soon as the stim has worn off. Concussions, while not too common, can be caused by grenades and helmet ricochets. And what happens when you get concussed is you have a tinnitus and muffled audio, so kind of like a ring. There are certain drugs and stimulants that can remove this status effect, but we'll have to cover those in a later video because there's just way too much to cover right now. Tremors will cause your screen to shake and make it pretty hard to play the game, but this is caused by untreated pain, and the only way to get rid of a tremor is to treat the pain that's causing it. Tunnel vision is something that's caused by taking a stimulant that you probably had to take to treat something else, but what that will cause is your screen to vignette and pulse in and out. And usually this only lasts for a limited amount of time based on whatever stimulant or drug you took. While painkillers can be useful, they can also cause their own status effect, the on-painkiller status effect. And that will cause your screen to have increased contrast, but it allows you to ignore fractures and also ignore the pain caused by them. The length of time that this status effect will last depends on whatever drug it was that you consumed. You'll get the dehydration status effect anytime your hydration reaches 0, and that will make you lose 2 health points every 2 seconds. Damage from this status effect causes a combination of pain and tremor effects on your player, and this will last until you hydrate to replenish your hydration. Your dehydration can turn into hard dehydration if you don't treat it fast enough. And with hard dehydration, you will lose 3 health points every 3.5 seconds on every limb. And this will lead to death the next damage tick after reaching 0 HP on the head or thorax. And the only way you can treat this is, you guessed it, to rehydrate your player. Fatigue can be caused by your player reaching 0 energy, and all actions will then be 20% slower. Damage from this status effect causes a combination of pain and tremor effects on your player, and the only way to stop it is to get your energy level back up. So eat some food. In the event that you don't eat any food after you have fatigue, you can get what's called hard fatigue, and all actions are now 20% slower, and you lose 1 point of health every 2 seconds, leading to death on the next damage tick after your HP reaches 0 on the head or thorax. And again, the simplest way to fix this is to consume some food to boost your energy. The overweight status effect is triggered anytime your PMC is at a total 26 kilograms. And what happens is this will cause you to make more noise, have reduced jump height, stamina drain is increased, fall damage is increased, movement speed is decreased, and now walking will drain your stamina. And the easiest way to fix this is to just drop some unneeded loot or use a stim to boost your energy. You will trigger critical overweight once your PMC reaches a total of 67 kilograms. That means you will no longer be able to sprint, your max stant height is reduced, your pro movement speed drains stamina, and your stance blocks stamina regain. And again, the only way to fix this is to either drop some loot or use a stim to ignore it for a momentarily time. You can gain fatigue from being overweight, and that's caused by 2 things: by long-term overweight status that hasn't been removed, or by the constant use of stamina without full regeneration. All this is going to do is cause your energy to drain even faster, and the easiest way to deal with it is to either fix your overweight status or let your stamina completely regen before trying to run again. The stun status effect is caused by looking at the explosion of a stun grenade or other flash weaponry, and this will last for 90 seconds, and it's just going to impair your vision, making it pretty much impossible to see what's going on. You may have seen the buff status effect before, and all that means is that you have some sort of boost from consuming a provision or stimulant, and what that boost is will be different depending on what stimulant or thing you consumed. And the final status effect that I have for you is poisoning. And you will get poisoned if you get struck by a cultist knife. And what that will do is deal gradual damage over time and cause pain. The only way you can treat this and get rid of it is by using the XTG-12 antidote injector. That's all the status effects in Escape from Tarkov, and I just want to say thank you so much for hanging out with me and learning a little bit about these status effects. And if you need more help in Escape from Tarkov, try clicking on this video. That's 5 tips and tricks on how you can escape from Tarkov.